Today I want to talk about recovery nutrition and how this plays an important role to make sure you get results out of your training sessions rather than falling short. Matty Graham here from Exponential Performance Coaching. Let's take a look at recovery nutrition. If athletes are going to focus their attention on one area of their nutrition, recovery nutrition is arguably one of the most important aspects. What you do in training, the benefits that you get from that training, largely governed by your recovery nutrition. So let's take a look. This concept here of this is your starting performance level, and when you train your performance gets worse, is something we've covered in previous videos, and I'll post the links below so you can go and check that out. So if you were to do a training session, say here, your performance is going to decrease initially, you're going to get worse, and then it's in the recovery time after training that your performance improves. Now at this point here, after training, at the end of your training session, what happens with your performance from there is largely determined by the nutrition that you consume. So one of three major things can happen. Your performance can increase back up to baseline and then improve and get what we call a super compensation, so you get better. This is what we want, this is what we're aiming for in training. If you eat something but it's not really the ideal thing, but maybe you don't eat it in the right time frame either, your performance is going to slowly improve as your body builds everything back up, and you're probably going to return to baseline after a certain amount of time. That's not ideal. You're not actually improving from the training that you're doing. The other thing that can happen is you just stay down there. You aren't able to give your body the right things at the right time to build the things that it needs to do to improve your performance. So essentially you've done your training session, you haven't done the right things nutritionally, and you haven't improved at all. In fact, you've got worse. Not an ideal scenario. Ideally, we want to be hitting this improved performance every training session so that accumulative, we improve. And that there, as I said, is largely determined by what you do in this window following training with your nutrition. And the window that we're talking about, you've probably heard it, the window of opportunity is about 15 to 30 minutes following exercise. So 15 to 30 minutes following exercise. Now the reason that this window of opportunity exists and why is it important is that during this time post-exercise, your body is in the most optimal condition to uptake the nutrients and use them. The enzymes, the transport proteins, they're all in highly functioning order at that time. They're busy doing their thing, and if you give them the raw materials that they need, they're going to do the task very, very quickly and efficiently. So when we talk about nutrition and when we think about nutrition, we're going to cover the 3 R's. The first R is refuel, the second is repair, and the third is rehydrate. Now refuel is all about refueling the gas tank, refueling the petrol tank, and for humans that's carbohydrate. Ideally we want to get 1 gram of carbohydrate per kg of body weight in that first hour following exercise. So on that first meal we want to be targeting that 1 gram of carbohydrate. Ideally trying to get it within that first 30 minutes. Repair, this is about protein. A lot of endurance athletes think I don't need to consume a lot of protein because I'm not a bodybuilder, but protein isn't just about repairing muscle tissue. Even in exercise that doesn't break down a lot of muscle tissue, such as cycling or swimming, protein is really important. Protein are the building blocks for all cells in the body, not just muscle cells. So for endurance athletes, that protein is going to go to making new red blood cells, making more mitochondria, which are the little powerhouses in the muscle, to make more transporter proteins, to make more blood vessels. All of those things are important for endurance performance, so it's still important for endurance athletes to get that protein on board. And we're aiming somewhere between 10 to 20 grams of protein in that meal, in that window of opportunity. And then rehydrate. This is about putting that fluid back into the body, replacing what you've lost. Recommendations are to replace 1.5 times the amount of body weight you lose during the exercise session. So if you weigh yourself before, weigh yourself after, any weight loss is through sweat, because we can't change much else in the body over the short term like that, so it's all must be fluid loss. So we need to replace 1.5 times that. Ideally with some sodium or salt in the fluid, or water with a meal, so that is better absorbed. If you just drink a lot of water, you're just going to pee it all out because it's not getting absorbed. So having some sodium with it, or drinking water with a meal, which will have sodium in it, is going to help with that absorption. A lot of people get caught up with these numbers and it confuses the hell out of them. What I want you to think about is just, when you finish your training session, one, aiming to get this window of opportunity. Aim for 15 minutes, the sooner the better really. Two, grab some carbohydrate, doesn't really matter what it is. Grab something that's got protein in it, and also grab some fluid. And all of these things can be ticked off with a few simple things. So one of my favourite is like chocolate milk. You've got carbohydrate in it, you've got protein in it, and you've got fluid. So something as simple as a glass of flavoured milk, chocolate milk, whatever it is, ticks all the boxes, and it's been shown by research to be as effective as a lot of the formulated sports and recovery foods. Another one could be a sandwich with some sort of meat in it and a glass of water. You got your carbohydrate, you got your protein, and you've got your fluid. So if these numbers here confuse you, you're not too sure what that looks like, don't be confused, don't be put off by it. Really focus on the big picture. Refuel, repair, rehydrate. Carbohydrates, protein, fluid. If you can tick all those boxes, you're going to go a long way to improving your performance with every training session, rather than putting in all the hard work but not getting the results you deserve. So there it is, recovery and nutrition in a nutshell. If you've got any more questions, please let me know. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the button below, so that you can get all of my latest training, nutrition and fitness tips sent directly to you, so you don't miss out on anything. Also jump over to Facebook, give the Exponential Performance Facebook page a like, and also follow me on Twitter so you don't miss out on any of the exciting things that are going on. Get out there, train hard, but remember, train smart.